Hi there, this is Ranjit, and in this video we'll be doing the full review for this Moto G60. And guys, this is very similar to even the Moto G40 Fusion. The only difference is the rear camera setup on the Moto G40 Fusion is different. This has a 108 megapixel main camera, that has a 64, and the Fusion does not have NFC. This has the NFC. Apart from that, it's exactly the same smartphone. So even if you're looking for the review of the Moto G40 Fusion, this is the video for you. Only difference will be in the camera performance. So let's have a closer look at this one. And guys, I won't get into the physical aspects and other aspects of this device. I've already covered all those aspects in the unboxing video. So just watch that for more info. I'll leave the link in the description. So let's quickly divide this between the pros and cons. What did I like while using this phone, and what are the things that I did not like? Let's start with the pros and then we'll move to the cons. And the first thing is, again, this is a big phone. This is a 6.8 inch screen that they have. So if you like those big screen phones, you like this phone. And I'm glad that Motorola now went with the 120 hertz display on this smartphone, because generally Motorola is not that progressive in adapting higher refresh rates and stuff. So this is having that 120 hertz, and I did all my testing actually in that 120 hertz. If you go to the display here, you can actually set it to that 120 hertz, as you can see. So I did all my testing on this one, and the battery results that you will be seeing will be on that 120 hertz. And it makes an difference in the UI, guys. It's a little bit more smoother to move around, even in Twitter timeline and stuff, but it's not fully optimized. I'll talk about it. I feel it can be further optimized. Moving to the processor, this is having the Snapdragon 732 SoC, and even the G40 is the same, guys. I'll leave the specs list here so that you can get a better idea. And I would say it handles this smartphone very well. And one thing that I really like about Motorola smartphones, and this is becoming a rarity in mid-range smartphones, is the clean UI. If you notice, this is almost stock Android experience that you are getting. Apart from that, some Motorola additions, for example, that chop like this, gestures that we have and all those things, and you can customize it. It has that Moto display. So some useful stuff, no junk, no ads or nothing. So this is, if you are looking for a mid-range smartphone and always wanted that stock-like experience on the Pixel devices, this is the one that you'll get for the cheapest. No ads, nothing that I have noticed. So very clean layout that you are having. Again, as you can see, they have added some flavors, like as I told you, that Motorola stuff, and also they added a game mode. This is something new that's not in the stock Android, but they even added a game mode. So when you invoke a game, you have that. But again, that doesn't deter it from the stock UI experience. So that way, your pure stock Android experience that you're getting. Another small thing that I noticed while using this smartphone is that even the haptic feedback, that is the vibration, feel that you get, is done very well and calibrated very well on this smartphone, which is a rarity in mid-range phone. So good job by Motorola in terms of that. Now next thing is, as I've told you, mostly the phone is very smooth in the UI, even Twitter timeline, etc. It's working on 120 hertz, but for some reason, I don't know if it's an optimization with Chrome or something, but in some of the heavy pages in Chrome, right now it's smooth. Sometimes I notice these jutters, so maybe that can be fixed with an update. Right now it's very smooth. Sometimes in scrolling I notice that jutters, but apart from that, good. Overall, in terms of screen, it's an IPS LCD screen, guys, not an AMOLED screen. It's a good quality screen. If you talk about IPS, it's nothing that it's extraordinary or bad, and it's a good quality screen. It is HDR certified, hence even watching for videos and stuff was a good thing. Next is regarding the processor and daily usage. I did not notice any heating issues on this smartphone, so that way it is actually really nice. I did some gaming, guys. I played Call of Duty on this one, played it for about 25 minutes. Then also this got slightly warm, not hot at all. So that way I would say this smartphone does not heat up. And the next thing that I really liked on this smartphone is the cellular call quality that I was getting. Right now also both my SIMs are in this one. That is my Airtel, that's the main SIM, and even my Jio SIM. And I have to say the network reception as well as the earpiece quality is very good, even for very long calls that were over 30 minutes. Took several of them had no issues of any proximity sensor or calls getting cut or something like that. That's an issue these days with many of the mid-range smartphones. They try to make it very sleek and stuff, but they get the basics wrong. In that area, I would say they got the basics right. The call quality is very good, no issues of proximity sensor. So if you're a person who takes a lot of calls, then you'll be happy with the earpiece quality. Though it's not a stereo speaker on this one, but the single speaker is actually pretty loud, I would say. So that way it is okay, but they should have given us stereo speakers. Next thing is regarding the battery life on this one. This has a relatively big battery. That's a 6000 milliamp hour battery, but even for that 6000 milliamp hour battery, let me actually show you the stats I saved here. If I go to screenshots, I've saved some screenshots, guys. And here, as you can see, it was at 7% and it lasted 3 full days of usage, as you can see here. And after that 3 days also of usage, it's 3 full days of usage, guys. We have got a screen on time of 9 hours 2 minutes. So the battery life is actually amazing on this smartphone. This is another day of usage. This was at 10%. Again, as you can see, got about 3 days of usage. So the battery life that I was getting on this smartphone, and here again, as you can see, about 8 hours of screen on time, is amazing. And the standby time is also amazing on this smartphone. The idle drain is very, very low. So in terms of battery life, they have done a very, very good job on this smartphone. In fact, the idle drain is also very low. I would say for most users, this is I would say 1.5 to about 2 days worth of battery life on a single charge. And if you forget charging this smartphone at night, you simply do not have to worry. I have to say I was really impressed with the battery life on this one. We also have this fingerprint sensor, a traditional one on the back, and it's fairly responsive. Takes about quarter of a second. I don't know because of the animation or what, but in terms of reliability, it is reliable. But I feel this should have been here. I have to stretch my finger. That's what I've noticed. Also, it's not an AMOLED screen, but it has that Moto display. If you leave the device and come to it, you get this. So you get to note the notifications and stuff like this. And I like the implementation of this Moto display on this smartphone. Next thing is, and this was a surprise, this is the camera. Again, as I've told you, this is the G60. So the main camera is that 108 megapixel. On the G40 Fusion is the 64 megapixel. Then we have an 8 megapixel that's ultra wide. And we have that dumb 2 megapixel one that we have. And here are some of the sample shots that I have taken with this smartphone. And as you can see, in fact, I was also very surprised with the results, because Motorola is not generally known for excellent camera performance. But here I have to say, the samples that we got with the rear-facing camera, that's the 108 megapixel, actually came out really good. Even in indoor lighting conditions, the skin tones were actually good. Yes, there is slight softness at times, but overall, I would say I was actually pleasantly surprised with the camera. And I have to say, certainly this has to be one of the best cameras that I've seen from Motorola in this price range. Moving to the front facing camera, it's a 32 megapixel, and by default this one also does pixel binning. As you can see, outdoor shots came out good with the front facing camera, but when it comes to indoor shots, I felt that there is slight softness in the pictures, as you can see with the sample shots. I can't say this is the best that I have seen in this price range. That might be the Redmi Note 10 Pro, but nevertheless, the camera performance was very, very good. It exceeded my expectations, what I had. Now let's move to the cons with this smartphone. And the first con is the size and weight, guys. This is a big smartphone, and also because of that 6000 milliamp hour battery, it's sort of a heavy smartphone. It weighed almost 221 grams. So again, if you're a person who does not like big phones, then you will simply not like it. And again, any phone that is over 205, 210 grams feels a little bit on the heavier side. So it will take you a week almost to get used to it. Now I'm used to it, but yes, it is a heavy smartphone. The next thing is, if you see this camera hump over here, and if you just place it down, it wobbles. So you just can't place it like this, and if you're a person who likes to do texting like this, you can't do it. It's shaky as hell. This is a Mr. thing. I don't know, it just juts out like this. And next thing is, this is regarding the auto bright, what do you say, it has obviously the auto brightness sensor and stuff, but I feel the auto brightness calibration has not been done very well. Even when I leave it on auto brightness, right now it's on manual, but whenever I leave even in auto brightness and suddenly when I come inside, many times I have to actually manually adjust down the brightness. So yes, auto brightness works, it's not like it's not working, but I feel the calibration is not done that well, and many times I had to manually adjust the brightness. Next thing is the fingerprint. As I've told you, it works, it's slightly on the slower side. I feel they should have just put the fingerprint scanner here on the side like many of the mid-range smartphones. It's way more convenient and faster, I would say. Coming to that point, we also have a dedicated button here for the Google Assistant, and if you press this, you get the Google Assistant. But as of now, they are not allowing us to customize this button, so I feel that's a missed opportunity. The next thing is this bag is a plastic bag, guys, and if you notice, it's a fingerprint magnet, and I simply do not like this one. It shows the fingerprint like crazy. I didn't use it purposely with the case to see if it will get any scratches or something. I don't see the scratches, but see the amount of fingerprints that they have. I feel they should have gone with a different kind of a material. For example, the Realme Narzo series, etc. It's also plastic bag, but the way they have done it, it resists the fingerprint. So if something like that they would have done, it would have been a lot better. But as of now, I would say if you want to hide the fingerprints, you will have to put a case on that. And this one, and that will again further increase the weight. The next thing is this is an IPS LCD screen. I wished Motorola also introduced a Moto G60 Plus edition with an AMOLED screen. Yes, I know the pricing of that one would have gone up by 1500 to 2000 rupees, but I feel they should have given users a choice if they wanted to go for the regular one or with an AMOLED screen. So yes, don't get me wrong, the IPS LCD screen is not bad, but I felt if they would have given an AMOLED screen, this phone would have sold a lot more, I frankly feel. So again, let's see if Motorola introduces smartphones with AMOLED screens in the future. And lastly is regarding the Android updates. This runs on Android 11 out of the box. That's the latest, not a problem. And Motorola also said that Android 12 will also come to this smartphone. But after that, I don't know. Will it get Android 13 or not is a question mark. It might get, but they haven't officially announced anything about that. And I think so. Brands need to announce that, because now some of the other vendors like Samsung, etc., are promising upfront 3 years of Android updates and stuff. So let's see. And regarding the Android security updates, guys, this smartphone will get Android security updates every 3 months once. So that's regarding the update situation on this one. So overall, I would say a very good smartphone, and particularly for people who are looking for that stock Android experience, are fed up with ads and the hidden notification junk that we are getting on mid-range smartphones, you can certainly have a look at this one. And I would say if camera is not your highest concern, you can save a little bit of money and go even with the Moto G40 Fusion. That is exactly this smartphone, except that camera and that NFC functionality. The NFC functionality is there on this variant. So certainly I would say the big plus points of this one is that close to stock Android experience, very fluid in operations. Then the battery life was a surprise thing, and even the cameras, I would say certainly one of the best cameras that I've seen by Motorola in this price range. So guys, that was my review of this Moto G60. What do you guys think about the same? Do let me know in the comment section below. Anyways guys, if you're still not subscribed to my YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. This is Ranjit, and I hope to see you in my next video. Take care guys.